Islam. The most important holy place in Islam is the Kaaba, a simple cube-shaped stone building located in the city of Mecca. It stands at the center of a large mosque and serves as the main point of focus for Muslim worship. Muslims believe the Kaaba was first built by the Prophet Abraham and his son Ishmael as a place set aside for the worship of one God. The Kaaba itself is not worshipped and is not believed to have power. Instead, it provides a shared direction for prayer. Muslims around the world pray 5 times each day, and during every prayer they face the Kaaba. This direction is called the Qibla, which simply means direction. Facing the same direction helps Muslims feel united even when they live far apart. The city of Mecca is also important because Muslims believe the Prophet Muhammad was born there. Because of its religious importance, only Muslims are allowed to enter the city. Many Muslims travel to Mecca to perform Hajj, which is a pilgrimage meaning a religious journey. During Hajj, pilgrims walk around the Kaaba, pray together, and spend time in quiet reflection. These actions are meant to encourage humility, patience, and self-discipline. Muslims worship regularly in mosques around the world, but the Kaaba remains the central holy place that connects all Islamic prayer and devotion. Christianity. One of the most important holy places in Christianity is the city of Jerusalem. Christians believe many key events in the life of Jesus happened there, including his arrest, crucifixion, burial, and resurrection. Because these events are central to Christian belief, Jerusalem holds deep religious meaning. Within the city is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which Christians believe stands over the place where Jesus was put to death and later buried. They also believe this is where Jesus rose from the dead. Christians do not believe the building itself has special power. Instead, it is respected because it marks events that are central to their faith. Christians from many traditions visit this site, including Catholic, Orthodox, and Protestant Christians. When visiting, people often pray quietly, read from the Bible, or stand in silence to reflect. Some walk nearby paths that are traditionally linked to the final days of Jesus' life. Christians worship regularly in churches all over the world, usually on Sundays, and these local churches are the center of weekly community worship. However, Jerusalem remains a central holy place because it connects Christian belief to real locations and events tied to the life and death of Jesus. Judaism. One of the most important holy places in Judaism is the area known as the Temple Mount in the city of Jerusalem. Jews believe this site is the holiest location in their religion. In ancient times, Jews believed 2 great temples once stood on this spot. These temples were the center of worship, teaching, and religious life. They were destroyed long ago, and the temples no longer exist. Near the Temple Mount is the Western Wall, which is the most important place of prayer for Jews today. The Western Wall is believed to be part of the outer wall of the ancient temple complex. Jews do not believe the stones themselves have power. The place is sacred because of its connection to the temples and to Jewish history. When Jews visit the Western Wall, they pray, read sacred texts, and reflect quietly. Some place written prayers into the cracks between the stones as a personal act of devotion. Jews worship weekly in synagogues around the world, especially on the Sabbath, which is from Friday evening to Saturday evening. Even so, Jerusalem and the Western Wall remain the most important physical locations in Judaism because they represent the heart of Jewish worship and memory. Hinduism. Hinduism does not center on one single holy place. Instead, it recognizes many important locations across India. One of the most respected is the Ganges River, along with the city of Varanasi, which sits along its banks. Hindus believe the Ganges is a sacred river that represents purity and life. The word sacred means deeply respected and set apart for religious meaning. Bathing in the river is believed to help remove spiritual burden, meaning moral or spiritual impurity, not physical dirt. Varanasi is one of the oldest living cities in the world. Hindus believe that dying there can help the soul reach moksha. Moksha means release from the cycle of rebirth. When Hindus visit these places, they may bathe in the river, pray, meditate, or offer flowers and lamps. Many also visit nearby temples. Hindus worship daily at home or in local temples, but the Ganges River and Varanasi remain central because they connect ideas of life, death, duty, and spiritual release. Buddhism. The most important holy place in Buddhism is Bodh Gaya, located in India. Buddhists believe this is where Siddhartha Gautama became the Buddha. The word Buddha means awakened one. At Bodh Gaya stands the Bodhi tree, where Buddhists believe he sat in deep meditation and reached enlightenment. Enlightenment means gaining deep understanding of suffering and how to end it. Because of this event, Bodh Gaya represents the beginning of Buddhist teaching. When Buddhists visit this site, they meditate, which means sitting quietly and training the mind. Some walk slowly around the temple, others chant or remain silent. Buddhism does not focus on worship of a god. Instead, these actions help people develop awareness, discipline, and compassion. Buddhists practice in temples and meditation centers around the world, but Bodh Gaya remains the most important place because it marks the moment when Buddhist teaching began. Sikhism. The most important holy place in Sikhism is the Golden Temple, also known as Harmandir Sahib, located in the city of Amritsar in India. Sikhs believe this site represents equality, humility, and openness. The temple has entrances on all four sides, showing that people from all backgrounds are welcome. Inside the temple is the Guru Granth Sahib, the Sikh holy book, which Sikhs treat with great respect as their spiritual guide. When Sikhs visit the Golden Temple, they pray, listen to readings, and reflect quietly. A key part of the experience is langar, which is a free communal meal served to everyone. This practice shows equality and service. Sikhs worship weekly in gurdwaras around the world, but the Golden Temple remains the central spiritual home of Sikhism. Taoism. Taoism does not have one single holy place. Instead, several mountains and natural areas are considered sacred. One important example is Mount Qingcheng in China. Taoists believe nature reflects balance and harmony. Harmony means things working calmly and naturally together. Taoism is centered on the Tao, which means the way, or the natural order of life. Sacred mountains are respected because they are seen as places where the Tao can be felt more clearly. When Taoists visit these places, they meditate, walk quietly, observe nature, and sometimes visit temples built into the landscape. Taoist practice often happens at home or in local temples, but sacred mountains remain important because they reflect simplicity, balance, and natural flow. Shinto. In Shinto, the most important holy places are shrines connected to nature and ancestral spirits. The most respected is the Ise Grand Shrine in Japan. Shinto centers on kami. Kami are spirits linked to nature, places, and ancestors. They are not gods in the same way found in some religions. The Ise Grand Shrine is rebuilt every 20 years. This rebuilding represents renewal and continuity. When people visit Shinto shrines, they bow, clap their hands, and pray quietly. Many also attend seasonal festivals. Shinto shrines exist throughout Japan, but Ise remains the most honored because of its long history and connection to tradition. Zoroastrianism. In Zoroastrianism, the most important holy places are fire temples, such as an Atash Behram, found mainly in Iran and India. Zoroastrians do not worship fire. Instead, fire is respected as a symbol of truth, order, and clarity. Inside fire temples, a flame is kept burning as a reminder of moral responsibility. When Zoroastrians visit, they pray, reflect, and focus on living with good thoughts, good words, and good actions. Worship also takes place at home, but fire temples remain central because they represent purity and ethical focus. Baha'i Faith. The Baha'i Faith has two main holy places. These are the Shrine of the Bab and the Shrine of Baha'u'llah, located in present-day Israel. These sites mark the resting places of the founders of the Baha'i Faith. Baha'is believe these locations represent unity, peace, and reflection. When Baha'is visit, they pray quietly, meditate, and walk through the gardens in silence. Worship usually happens in homes or local centers, but these shrines remain central because of their historical and spiritual importance. Jainism. In Jainism, the most important holy places are linked to spiritual teachers called Tirthankaras. One of the most important is Shatrunjaya Hill in India. This hill is covered with many temples. Pilgrims climb thousands of steps to reach the top. This climb represents effort, discipline, and self-control. When Jains visit, they pray, meditate, and practice silence. Jain worship focuses on non-violence, honesty, and self-discipline. Local temples are used regularly, but Shatrunjaya Hill remains the most respected pilgrimage site. Indigenous and ancient traditions. Many indigenous and ancient traditions do not separate holy places from nature. Instead, the land itself is sacred. Mountains, rivers, forests, stones, and open plains are respected as living parts of spiritual life. Examples include Uluru and Stonehenge. These places are honored because of their connection to ancestors, seasons, and community memory. People gather there to pray, mark time, or pass on tradition. The focus is not on buildings, but on relationship with the land.